Hello my dears, and welcome to my next class of Egyptian hip technique, and the movement which we are going to study today is going to be HAGGALA. So first we start with HAGGALA number 1. I call it HAGGALA number 1 because it's the basic HAGGALA step and it's not so difficult, so it's the base. Later we will go on to HAGGALA number 2. So now let's remember about the basic principles of Egyptian hip technique. First, number 1, it's about our knees. So let's remember that we never make our knees and legs completely straight in Egyptian technique, because always our knees are helping our hip bones to move. So let's check which movements HAGGALA number 1 has. So it consists of 2 movements. Number 1, it's side, and number 2, it's up and down. Side, up and down. First we will practice and we will make these movements in a soft way, like always, and after this we will arrive to accented technique. So we will start with the basic HAGGALA number 1. It's going to be side up down in a soft way like this. So what I'm doing, of course, I'm lifting a little bit my heel up from the floor, side, heel up, down, side, my heel is up and down. So HAGGALA number 1 consists of 2 movements. The first movement is horizontal to the right, and the second movement is vertical, up and down, and again horizontal and vertical. Now let's remember about the second principle of Egyptian hip technique, and it's about our hip bones inside. So we are not dancing or working from our waist in our movements, but we are working with our hip bones inside. That's why we need to feel our joints and hip bones inside. And also we divide our body and we separate our joints into 2 parts. Joint from the right is separate and joint from the left is separate. And the third principle of Egyptian hip technique is that all the technique is coming from the down. So it's not from the waist, let's remember, it's not from the waist, but it's from down. So that's why all my movements which I'm making, they are coming from the hips inside. They are not coming from the waist, and we are not working with 2 of our hips. As we remember, separate our body, and as soon as I make my hip to the side, I'm working just with 1 joint. I'm not working from the waist, and I'm not making the movements from the waist. I feel my hips separately. Right hip is separate, my joint is here, it's separate, and my left joint is separate. So I'm feeling 1 joint. So this part doesn't work, this part works. When this part works, it means that this part doesn't work. So according to the first principle of Egyptian hip technique, I'm helping with my knee to the side to make my hip movement. That's why my legs are not straight. I'm using my knees all the time to make my hip movements. Any hip movements are coming with the help of our knees. So when I'm making my accent to the side, I push my knee in a soft way first, back. As soon as I make my left hip up and down, I'm also pushing my left knee back and forward. So I'm working with my knees all the time. 1 push, here also push, release. Here push my left knee, up, push, release. So if you pay attention, my knees are constantly working forward and back, because without my knees, with the straight legs, I will never be able to make any movement. That's why, please, with your knees, you need to help your hip bones move. So now, guys, let's start and let's make the soft HAGGALA number 1 like a triangle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. You see, I'm lifting my heel just a little bit when I'm making this movement in a slow motion with slow speed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But if I try to make this movement with faster speed, I will have no time to lift my heels all the time. And that's why my feet will be working just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will not be lifting my heels up because the speed of the music and the rhythm is fast. Now guys, let's please practice and make our Haggala number 1 in a soft way. Side up, down, side up, down, side up, down, side up, down. Now please stop lifting your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Side up, down, side up, down, side up, down, side up, down. Continue. And side up, down. In a soft way, without any muscle contraction. Just practice like this. Let's go a little bit forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Guys, please pay attention to your hip bones. You have to learn to feel your hip bones inside. So please don't work from your waist, just like this, from your waist. In this way, you are not feeling your hip bones inside. You are working just from here. But what I need from you is to feel your hip bones. It's here and here. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. So you have to learn to feel your joints. And you need to feel your joints separately with division of your body. So let's practice one more time. Don't lift your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not from the waist, but from your hips. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, please pay your attention to my legs and to my knees. So I'm not sitting down like this. This is going to be a mistake. If you sit down and you go in your Haggala number 1 like this. And also, I'm not completely straight with my legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see, like this, I cannot move my hips inside. I can't help with my knees. So that's why, please pay attention. My knees are just a little bit soft, and they are constantly working forward and back. Side, up, down. Side, up, down. So please pay attention how my knees are working. 1, I push with my knee up, and when I make down, please look, when I make down, I'm not only working with this knee, but what I'm doing, I'm also working with this knee as well. So it's a double work. Please, let's practice. 1, 1. So it's not like this, just 1, 1, 1, 1. And you keep this leg straight. No, this leg is constantly helping you to make your movement here. Please look, without this leg. And now let's make with this knee as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see, my knee is pushing back, 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 back. And this knee is pushing where? Forward, 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 forward. So as soon as you make a hip drop, it's the double work. 1, double work. This knee is pushing back, and this knee is pushing forward. Pay attention. 1, 2, slow motion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Please pay attention. Double knee work. Double knee. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Work with your knees. 1 in a soft way. 1, 2, and 1, 2. So now guys, we have learned the basic movement, soft HAGGALA number 1. Now we need to make it with accent. So with accent, we need, of course, again, our muscle contraction. So which muscle contraction? Again, remember our basic principles. It's about our muscles around our knees and our muscles under here and under here. So pay attention, both, not just one, but here and here. So how we need to work with these muscles? First of all, you need to work with your knees. We need to study and practice how to work with our knees. Number 1, we need to practice like this. Our heels are down on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is like in a soft way. Now we need to make it in accented way with muscle contraction. So as soon as you push your knee back, make it stronger, push back, and contract your muscles around here. 1, contract here, relax, boom, contract here, relax, boom, contract here, relax, boom, contract here, relax. So now to this movement you have to add your muscle contraction from here, tak, muscle contraction is here and here, doom, muscle contraction is here and here. Please look from the back. 1, muscle contraction in your knees and here, boom, muscle contraction in your knees and here. 1, up, down, 1, up, down, to the side muscle contraction, up, and with accent also here. Side muscle contraction, make up soft, doom, muscle contraction is also here. So it's a double muscle contraction. Let's check from the front. Please pay attention. We make our knee back. We contract it here. We contract here. Now release everything, make soft, make hip drop. Your knee is going forward, this knee is going back, trak, and you make your muscle contraction here, and doom, push your knee back, muscle contraction is here, and muscle contraction is here. Make your hip up in a soft way. Now, this knee is pushing forward and this knee is pushing back. Doom. And where is the muscle contraction? It's in this side. So, guys, in this way, you are going to have very, very clear hip technique. Because if we are not using our muscles, our movement is soft. Like I showed you in the beginning of the class. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You see, it's very soft and not so clear and without any accents, just in a soft way. But as soon as we use muscle contraction, our HAGGALA starts to look more clear and accented. 1, tak, 1, tak, 1, tak, 1, continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, muscle contraction in the knees and in your hips. And guys, just pay attention to the following. We are never making our knees completely straight like this. So when you are working with your knees, you see, I'm never pushing it straight until the end, because like this I can damage my knees and my joints. So that's why I need to protect my knees and always to leave about 1 centimeter in the back, not to make my legs completely straight. So if you look at my HAGGALAs, you will see that I never make my legs straight. Let's start with HAGGALA number 1 in a soft way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay attention, please, to my knees. You see how I'm working with my knees, and also I'm not making them straight. And now let's check HAGGALA number 1, but with accents. Accent muscle contraction here, and again here, here, and again here. Let's start. 1, 2, 3. Pay attention to my knees. They are not straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this technique is more clear with muscle contraction. Okay guys, now let's practice this basic HAGGALA number 1 movement with the music. Let's go! Soft, the basic. Please lift your heels in a soft way. Let's walk a little bit forward. First we practice in a slow way, in a slow and soft. 1, 2, 3. Please work with your knees. But now don't work with your muscles, just your knees, in a soft way. Now we start in a faster tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your heels and walk forward, forward, back. Now here. More. Let's walk around the circle. Use your hip joints. Feel your hip joints inside. Now faster. Let's practice faster. In a soft way. Relax your hips. Relax your hips. Let's walk a little bit to the side. Now, around the circle. Don't lift your heels. Now, your heels are down on the floor. More. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Now, let's try with accents. Accent, muscle contraction. Accent, muscle contraction. Muscle contraction. 1, back. Muscle contraction here, 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 here. 1 here and here. Practice. Work with your knees. Push your knees. Side, down. Side with accent, down with accent. Side with accent, down with accent. Again. Now, stop lifting your heels. And walk. Back. Now, around this circle. Contract your muscles. Here. You see, it's a movement very clear. Now, guys, get ready and start to work faster. Ready? Contract your muscles and please work with your knees. You see, this technique is more clear. Walk side. To the other side. To the other side. Now, around the circle. Side up, down. Don't lose any movement. Other side. Okay, my dears, we have finished the practice of HAGGALA number 1. Now we gradually arrived to HAGGALA number 2. So HAGGALA number 2 is more difficult and more complicated. So I'm going to explain to you step by step, so everything will be very clear. So guys, HAGGALA number 2 looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to break it down for you step by step. First, we will need our hip with the arch. Remember the basic hip movement of the arch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Please remember about the basic principle that we divide our body into 2 parts and we separate our joints. And I'm not making this arch with both of my hips like this, but I separate my joint and I feel my joint here, and I'm moving just one hip here from this side and one hip here with this side. For this, we need the first basic principle of Egyptian hip technique is that my legs are not straight, but I help with my knee to move my hip bone inside. So what we need, of course, when I make this arch, I'm not working just with one knee. I'm working with two knees again. So this is the rule you have to follow. We also work with this knee because this leg is also not straight. You see? Like this, it's straight. But it's not what we need. We need, again, always to push with our knee here as well to help our Egyptian hip technique. 1, 2, 1, back and back and back and back. So this is number 1. This is the movement number 1 in HAGGALA number 2. So we are going like this. We make step with the arch like this. Step with the arch like this. Step with the arch like this. One more time. My feet are down on the floor. I'm not lifting my heels up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So guys, now this was the first movement in HAGGALA number 2. Now I need the second movement. And the second movement is going to be hip forward. Forward, forward, forward. Everybody knows the hip to the side, but now I need my hip forward. Put your leg in the front. 1, 2, 3. This is the hip movement in a soft way. Let's check, please, here. Now, first of all, the arch with one hip and forward. Arch with one hip, forward. Arch with one hip, forward. Let's practice just forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now let's check it from the front again. So to have the movement forward, we need also to work with our knees. Our knees are not straight. If your knees are straight, you will not be able to move your hips. And please divide your body into 2 parts. Feel just one joint here. Feel just one joint from the other side. What you are doing with your knees? First of all, you are pushing your knee back, 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 and your hip is going forward. Other side, back. Your knee is back, back, and back, and your hip is going forward. Let's practice 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the rule how to make this movement. The legs are not straight. You help with your knees, and please don't work with 2 hips. 2 hips like this. I need just 1 joint. So now, guys, we need to combine these 2 movements together to reach the movement HAGGALA number 2. Let's check it from the back. 3, 4. Arch, forward. Arch, forward. Now from the front. Arch, forward. Arch, forward. So now, guys, let's check how our knees are working in both of these movements. Pay attention. Arch, 1. So what I'm doing? First of all, I'm pushing this knee back, 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 back. 1. And the second knee, it's not straight. It's also pushing back. So please pay attention. Don't make this knee straight like this. Like 1, 1. The knee in the back, it's not straight. This is straight, straight, straight. In this case, you will never be able to achieve and to arrive to Egyptian hip technique because it's gonna be stylized technique. You have to work with your knees and hip bones inside. 1. So your knee is pushing in a soft way back. 1. And this also. Now this knee is pushing back again and your hip is going forward. 1. 1. Your knee is pushing back here. Tack. and this knee is pushing back as well. Now guys, let's look from the back. This is really important, and let's check again how our knees are working. Let's start with our arch. So when I make the arch, 1. So what I'm doing, I make the arch, and this knee is pushing forward. 1. You see, I'm push forward, forward, forward. But this knee is pushing back. 1. Opposite, 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 opposite. 1. Now, the second movement is forward. Tuck. And my knee is pushing back. Now change the other side. Arch. 1. So this knee is pushing forward, and this knee is pushing back. So it's working the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 arch, 1 arch, and 1 arch. Now you push your hip front, and your knee is pushing back, 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 back. So guys, this is really, really important to achieve good technique, to have the good and correct technique. So that's why you need to pay attention to your knees, how you are working with your knees, and first you have to practice with your knees. Only after this you can add your hip movements and make your HAGGALA step in a faster tempo. Now, my dears, we have to combine both of these movements together and to make HAGGALA number 2 in a soft way first. Let's go slowly and in a slow way. 3, 4. 1. Don't forget about the work of your knees. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And please guys, don't miss any point in HAGGALA number 1 and HAGGALA number 2. So the first mistake which people can make, they miss some of the point in these two HAGGALAs. So sometimes they miss up down, they are doing only to the sides, and they are not doing up and down. They are not doing the triangle. So that's why their HAGGALA is not complete. You have not to miss any point in your HAGGALA steps to make it very, very clear and correct. And in HAGGALA number 2, you must not miss the point forward, because without your hip forward, your HAGGALA will not be complete. It's going to be just with the arch, but it's not correct. Arch, 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 like this. Arch, 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 arch. You see, this is only the arch, but it's not HAGGALA. You have to make your hip forward as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So please guys, don't miss the step and the hip forward. So guys, the second mistake which people can make is, of course, if you are trying to do HAGGALA number 1 and HAGGALA number 2 with straight legs. So it's not possible. It's not possible to dance with straight legs in Egyptian hip technique. So that's why don't make this mistake. You need to help with your knees, move your hip bones inside. Guys, and the third mistake in HAGGALA number 2, it's when people are not twisting their hip when they are making the arch. So in HAGGALA number 1, of course, our hips are front. So in HAGGALA number 1, we are not twisting our hips anywhere. They are front. But in HAGGALA number 2, we need to twist our hip in the arch. 1. You see how I'm twisting my hip? 1. So it's not like this. It's not forward. It's not front, but it's with twist. So please twist as much as possible, as much as you can. 1, push, 1, push, and work with your knees. Please look again. Twist your hip as much as possible. 1, 2, 1, forward, 1 and forward. So the next mistake, the fourth mistake, is going to be when people are trying to make HAGGALA number 2 not with their heel down on the floor, with their simple feet here, but they are trying to make it with their heel like this, from up to down, like this, from up to down. So this is not correct. You are not going to have good hip technique. That's why, please, control yourself and don't make something from your toes to your heel like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, you have to put your foot directly, immediately down on the floor in a simple way like this. Let's check. 1, push, 1, push, 1, push, and change. 1, push, 1, push, 1, push, and change. Guys, and the fifth mistake in HAGGALA number 2, please pay attention. It's when people are trying to push their hip too much in the back. No, please, control your body. So for Oriental, you need to control your body. In Shabi, in Baladi, there are different rules for technique, but in Oriental, we need to control our body. We don't push anywhere. We control our body like this, and we are making our technique in this position without anything like this. Don't damage your back, make it inside, control your pelvis, and when you make HAGGALA, don't make something like this. So this is going to be a mistake. Don't push in the back like this. Control your body, take your pelvis in, and make like this. 1 forward, 1 forward, 1 forward, 1, change. 1 forward, 1 forward, 1 forward, and change. Guys, please pay attention to the following. So I told you before in the beginning of the class that you have to feel your hip bones inside and not to work from your waist. So what does it mean in HAGGALA number 2? So if you are not feeling your hip bones inside and you are not feeling your joints inside and you are not working with your joints inside, your movement is coming from your waist. It's going to be a little bit wrong. So you will just walk something like this, something superficial like this. But no, don't try to work from your waist, but mostly more feel your hips here, from your hip bones. All your movements are coming from the hip bones. So please look. 1, 2, 3, 4, change. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here, let's walk around the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And pay attention. Don't lose your hip forward. Otherwise, you will have just the arch. Don't lose your hip forward. So please, first practice slowly, like this, and arch forward, arch forward, arch forward, arch forward, arch forward. After this, please increase your speed and go faster. Arch forward, arch forward, arch forward, arch forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. But you see, I'm not losing my hip forward. I'm pushing my hip forward. 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'm making both the arch and my hip forward in fast speed. Guys, and the last mistake, and it's the most important, both for HAGGALA number 1 and for HAGGALA number 2. So what is this mistake? It's when people are not making the clear movements in HAGGALA steps and they are trying to add some shimmy or unclear additional movements inside of HAGGALA number 1 and HAGGALA number 2. So what does it mean? For example, in HAGGALA number 1, it looks clear, yes? But if you are making it not clear and you start adding something inside, something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You see, I'm not making some clear movements, but I start to add some strange shimmy inside of my HAGGALA number 1. So this is not clear. You need to study and learn and practice very hard to make your hips very clear. So the same point, it's about HAGGALA number 2. When you make HAGGALA number 2, you need to control yourself, not to make any additional movements inside of your HAGGALA. Otherwise, it's going to be not clear again. So you need to make just 2 movements, the arch and hip forward. So please look, if I'm adding something extra inside of my HAGGALA number 2, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 more. And now look from the back. You see, I'm not clear with my movements, but I start to add some shimmy or shimmy layers, or making something unclear with missing the points inside of HAGGALA number 2. So guys, please, that's why practice gradually. Clear hip movements, and you will have no problem in making HAGGALA correctly and clearly. Soft front, soft arch front, change here again. Soft work with your knees, 5, 6, again in a soft way. Arch, work with your knees, push your hip front, here again, arch, forward, arch, forward, arch, forward, one more time, arch, forward, arch, forward, arch, forward, practice again, 1, forward, 1, forward, 1, forward, and now faster, 1 forward, 1 forward, 1 forward, 1 forward, 1 forward. Here, start again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, change, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now guys, let's go around the circle. 1, 2. Don't miss your hip forward. This is really important. Continue. Arch forward, and twist your hip as much as you can. Don't keep your hip front. Twist, twist in the arch. More. 5, 6, 7. Now on one spot, and we go to the side. Don't miss your hip forward. Continue. 1. Don't miss your hip forward. Arch forward, arch forward, arch forward, arch forward. Now guys, faster. 1. This is a fast way. You see how I'm twisting my hips? Walk forward. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a really high speed. Now around the circle. Your heels are down on the floor. I'm walking in a soft way without any accents. Just relaxed my hips and not missing any point in my HAGGALA number 2. Now guys, we have arrived to advanced technique, and in this advanced technique we are going again to make our HAGGALA number 2 with accents. So what we need for accents, you already know. So we need our muscle contraction here around our knees and our muscle contraction here and here in our hips. So what we do, when I make my arch, I'm going to make accent with muscle contraction. So this is the same like the arch, basic arch here. Don't forget about the work of your knees. So if you need, you can come back to the beginning of the video to practice with your knees. And I'm making my muscle contraction with my hip here when I make the arch. So I make accent. I push with my knee strong in the back. I contract my muscles here, and I contract my muscle here. After this, I release. So I make accent. Let's practice just the arch. After this, we will go to the front movement. Arch with accent. Tuck. Muscle contraction is here. Tuck. Please push with your knee back and contract your muscle here and in your knees. Tuck and here. Check from the back. 3, 4. 1. Contract your muscle here. 1. Contract your muscle here. 1. Contract your muscle in the knees and here, and change. So now, guys, just a little bit faster with our arch. 1 contraction. 1, 1, 1. Change your side. 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, and 1. You see, I'm pushing back with my knee very strong, contracting here and contracting here. Now we need to arrive to the front movement. Where do I contract my muscle when I make the movement forward? Of course, I will contract my muscle again here in my hip. I push with my knee back and I contract my muscle here. Push with my knee back, contract my muscle here. Push with my knee back and contract my muscle here. Let's practice. 3, 4. Push, contraction. Push, contraction in your knees and here. Push, contraction in your knees and here. Don't forget that we are not working with both of our hips, but we work separately with each of our hip. Now we combine all together, and for example, we are making arch accent, here accent, arch accent, here accent, arch accent, here also is the accent. Let's check again about our knees and about our muscle contraction to make it more clear. 1, I put my foot directly down on the floor, not from up to down. 1, I push with my knee, I contract my muscle here. Tuck, I push with my knee back and I contract my muscle here. Now change. 1, I push with my knee back and I contract my muscle here. Boom, I push with my hip forward, with my knee back, and I contract my muscle here. So now, guys, we need to combine everything together and to make our HAGGALA number 2 more clear, not just soft. This is a soft way of HAGGALA number 2, like this, but we need more accented hip technique. That's why we are using our muscles. 1, push. 1 muscle, muscle, muscle release, muscle contraction, release. So as soon as you make your muscle contraction, you need to release. Don't stay all the time in your muscle contraction like this. This is not correct. In this way, your hips are not going to be free. So that's why you need to release. Again, 3, 4. Muscle contraction, muscle contraction, muscle contraction, release. Again. Release and contract, release and contract. 3, 4. Muscle contraction, release, contract, release, contract, release, contract, release, contract, and here also contract. So now, guys, let's make it faster. 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Change. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's make it around the circle. Let's practice just with our hip muscles. 1, 2, arch, forward, arch, forward, arch, forward. Don't miss any point in your HAGGALA step. 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and tuck, 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 tuck. So now, guys, please compare the soft movement. This is HAGGALA number 2 without any muscle contraction, and now with muscle contraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you make more clear hip technique. And now just choose in a fast tempo. You need to choose to contract just your muscle when you are making your arch. Arch muscle contraction in the back, soft, arch, soft, muscle contraction, soft, muscle contraction, soft. Let's walk around the circle. Muscle contraction, soft. When you make the muscle contraction in the back with the arch, you contract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push with your knee, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, guys, now we need to make more variety of this HAGGALA number 2 movement, and we are going to make it a little bit more complicated. We are going to walk to the side and to the side, and we are going to make one arch, big one, and the second arch, small one, so that we are walking like this. 1, 1, 1, 1, change here, 1, 1, 1, 1. You see, it looks like this hip is bigger than this hip because I'm making the arch in this hip bigger, and here it's just small one. Bigger, small one, bigger, small one. So first you have to practice slowly in a slow tempo like this. 1, forward, small, forward, big, forward, small, forward, like this several times just to get this movement, and after this you can increase your speed and go faster. So don't forget about the work of your knees. Your knees continue to work in the same way like I explained to you in the beginning of the class, and we are walking like this. 1, I push with my knee here, I make my arch with the right side, but my knee is pushing from the left. Please pay attention, this is very important. My right hip is working, but I'm pushing with my left knee. 1, soft, 1, soft. Let's check this side. So it's the same way with this side. When I make my arch with my left hip, my right knee is pushing back to help my hips move. 1, small, big, small, 1, small, 1, small. So guys, like this, we need to practice, and we need to go to the sides. Let's start first in a soft way first, always for the practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, change, big, small, big, small, big, small, big, small. Let's check from the back just in case. 3, 4, big, small, big, small, big, small, big, change, big, small, big, small, big, small, big, and change. So guys, please pay attention that I'm working with my knees, I'm making the same twist, you remember, yes? And also I'm not missing the part forward, because if you miss, the part forward is going to look differently and is going to be other hip technique. For example, if I miss my hip forward, it's going to look just like arch, 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 or with accent, arch, 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 arch. Without HAGGALA, it's just the arch. So this kind of movement you can also learn in one of my educational videos. Now guys, let's make it more clear, this hip technique, and I'm going to add accent in this movement. So where is the accent? Accent is in the first movement when I make my arch here and push with my knee from this side, and I will need to contract my muscle here and here. So please check. I push here with my arch, 1, but I push with my left knee back and I contract my left muscle here and contract my left side around the knees. Okay, one more time. 1, don't miss your part forward, soft, big and accented, soft and small, big and accented, soft and small. So you need to divide these movements. The first one is going to be big and with accent, The second one is going to be small and soft. One more time, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and contract your muscle. Contract your muscle. Muscle is contracted here and in this side. Let's check. Now the muscle is going to be contracted here in this side. I'm making my arch in this side. I push with my right knee back. I contract my muscle here. The movement forward and small arch forward. Tuck and tuck and. One more time. 3, 4. Big accent, small soft. Big accent, small soft. Big accent, small soft. In this side, big accent, big and accent, small and soft. Big with accent, soft and small. Big with accent, soft and small. So now, guys, in a faster tempo, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. But if you pay attention, you will see I'm not missing any point in my Haggala number 2. And now, guys, if you want, you can go also up on your toes and do the same movement to the side and to the side, but up on your toes and with this muscle contraction in your hip in the first movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you see, you can also make it down. It's more comfortable, but up, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's also very elegant and beautiful. My dears, so let's combine all the knowledge which we have received today and all the hip technique which we have practiced today, and we are going to make a super big practice for your future growth and development. So let's start and make it with the music. We start with the basic Haggala, soft one. Let's practice. Forward and back. Now let's do it faster. 1, 2. Relax your hips. Now around the circle. Relax your hips. Now accented one. Accent, 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 accent. Now faster. With muscle contraction. Tack, muscle contraction. Let's go. More clear hip technique. A little bit shimmy, relax. 5, 6, 7. Now Haggala number 2 with accent. Let's make the accent in the back, in the back, in the back. Don't forget your movement forward. Accent back. And you can also add your accent forward with muscle contraction. Now a little bit faster. Soft one. Soft. Shimmy. Relax. Shimmy. And now we are going to the side with our Haggala number 2. 1. Big, small. Big, small. Big change. Big, small. In a soft way. Big, small. Big change. Big, small. Don't miss the accent forward. And here. 1. Big, small. Big, small. Now with accent. 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 Contract your muscle and push with your knee. Big, small. Accent, big, small. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, change, contract your muscle and release. Contract and release. Now, shimmy, relax, shimmy. And now we go up on our toes and we continue. 1, small, big, small, big with accent, big, change, big with accent on your toes, big accented, small, change, big accented, small, big accented, small, big, small, continue, big, big and small, small, big accented and small, soft. Now shimmy here and we will walk with soft HAGGALA. Let's go up, ready, and go. 1, 2, equal. Shimmy, equal. Let's go up. 3, 4, 1. Change. HAGGALA number 2. Equal. Equal and soft, without any contraction. My dears, we have done a lot of work today in this class. We have arrived to the final of this lesson, and thank you so, so much. I'm so proud of you, and I'm wishing all of you good luck in your future practice, growth, and development. And please, you can use all of these movements in your combinations and choreographies, and I will see all of you in my next educational videos.